All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott from Jeff Teaches Programming. In the last video, we pretty much got our program to work. All right, but I'm hoping that in just a minute it's going to work better. I guess we'll see. All right. I want to mention something to you. First, I want to show you, this is the file, but I found there were a bunch of places in here. Let's see. All right, there were a bunch of places in here where I said first name, and then for the last name, I said first name again. So there was one there, there was one there, there was one here, and there was one here. One for every kind of employee. So that was not correct. Why some of this stuff was even working, to be honest with you, I'm not positive. All right. So that's the first thing. Second thing, at the end of the delete routine, at the end of it, I was not telling it to save the changes. I was not telling it to load the corresponding records. I was not clearing the stuff out. All right. So that was wrong. Now, one more thing, just so you're aware of this. There's a lot of duplication in here, which I'm sure you probably saw. Right now, we're repeating for each one of the four different employee types. We're telling it to create an object, assign a first name, assign a last name, add it to the DB context. And if it's, again, I don't want to repeat all of them, but for example, if it's a hourly employee, add the hours worked and the hourly rate, etc. All right. And then we're saving. All right. Well, we have this employee DB abstract class in here. All right. And it's got in there, we've added to it a first name and a last name. All right. So each employee will automatically get that plus the employee type. All right. I think there's a cleaner way to do this. So what I have done is I've grabbed everything that's in this routine and I just copied it here. This is the same exact thing that you just saw. This is everything. And it's, I don't know how many lines. It's over 500 lines, 550 lines. I may have removed a couple blank lines in here that I didn't from the other one, but no, again, it's 550 lines. So what I'm going to do, and attempt to do right now, we're going to see whether or not this even works. All right. And that is, I am going to come in here and I'm going to remove every flaming thing almost that I have in here. And I'm going to try to rewrite it on the fly so you can watch and see exactly what I'm doing. All right. Now, I'm going to start with the load event. We've got there configure correct employee labels and text boxes and load the records. I think those are okay the way they are. So I am going to keep that, and I'm going to keep that. All right. And the show the other form, fine. Exit, fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new add record. I started doing this and I'm looking here. Well, let's look at it. All right, we've got add a new record. Okay, we are switching on the employee type. So we're determining the type of employee. New hourly employee. There's our piece worker. I want to get rid of at least some of this duplication. Okay, so what we're going to do, what I'm going to try to do here, is I'm going to grab the first name and last name, and I'm going to get rid of them for all of these. All right. And here. So that already, gave me a little bit of stuff. So let's do this. Let's go in here, and I'm just going to put this in. I'm going to comment it out. And I'm going to paste back in what I just took out, these two lines. I'm hoping at least that I will, since I only want to do these once, I want to just put them in once. That's the hope. All right. So let's see. So here's our ad. I'm going to keep the comments in there. And now I've got this. And I'm going to get rid of this. Add the employees. Here the object exists only in memory. I'm just going to go and get rid of that. So I'm going to add all this stuff. And then I'm going to break. For the piece worker, I'm going to add all this stuff. And then I'm going to break. For the commission worker, I'm going to add this stuff. And I'm going to break. And for the salaried worker, same thing. All right. Now, what I want to do is I want to handle the common stuff at one time. So I'm going to put a comment here that says handle all, oh, good gravy. Handle all common stuff at one time. All right. So I'm going to start with what I just did right here. And don't worry, I might get an error on this. Don't worry if I do. It's not correct the way it currently is, so I'm going to fix it. So what I want to do here is I want to say employee dot. All right. But one thing I think that I forgot to do is at the beginning of this add routine, I want to add a new line. Okay. And I want to put in here employee DB abstract employee equal null. I'm making that object, so to speak. It's not being used, and that's why it's green and underlined. So now, where I'm handling all the common operations, I can say employee dot first name and employee dot last name. All right, so that's now is only being handled once. All right. So rather than handle all stuff, I'm going to say handle first name and last name at one time or in one location, however you'd want to say that. All right. And then we want to do our add payroll program, DB context. We have to add it. So we have to add it now. Okay, put a comment here. And this says basically add record, employee record to database. All right. Then we want to do our save changes. And we want to say basically, now this is another thing. Again, these clear all these text boxes. I'm going to put this in its own routine. Okay. Next. I'm going to just call this reset text boxes and all right, reset text boxes. Just call it that. All right, we'll put that right here. So private void reset text boxes. All right. So now anywhere that I'm resetting these, which should be like in 4 different places, I can just call that. So I've got it here. So that hopefully that fixed that. There wasn't an error. All right. But the other thing too is I've got this. The new employee was successfully added, successful record add. Then down here we've got the existing employee was successfully updated, successful record update. And here we have, I hope, where's the delete? Did I not even write that? I don't even think we call the delete. All right, but the point is this. Let's write one more routine here, and let's call it, oops, I don't even know what I just did. So down here, let's write one more routine. Private void, we'll call it success message. How about just show message? And we'll have a string. That'll be the message, a string, that'll be the title. All right, now it's not being called, so that's why it's gray. All right, so let's start at the top here. So it's called show message. And what we're going to do here is this. We're going to call show message. In fact, let's just grab this. And we'll put it down here. And we're going to do this. Message box.show, and we're going to put in the message and the title, and then that and information. So, starting at the top. So here's add. So now when we're here at the bottom, we will call show message, and we will pass in that, and we will pass in that. All right, so this will now handle the new employee was successfully added to the database. That will be the message. Successful record add. That will be the title. All right, so let's get down to the next one. Update. So again, we will call show message, and that will be the message, and that will be the title. Like that. So that one's done. All right. Now, I want to see what I've done for the delete at the bottom. If everything worked, load. So this is, again, going to be, I don't want to do this. I want to call that reset. Reset text boxes. All right. And then I want to do this. But we're going to change the message. All right. So now it will say was successfully removed from the database. So this will be a successful record delete. Now, right now, you look at this, you go, okay, fine. You saved a whole flipping, 10 lines of code. Yeah, that's true. But the other thing that we did in here is we made this where it's getting easier to read and it's not as duplicative. All right. So I want to see if I can run through it and maybe even remove some more stuff that's in here. All right. So again, notice now when we go, so we've gone through the ad. All right. So here's our ad right there. And there's a lot of I'm going to grab that. There's a lot of duplication, and we've started to remove it. So there's the hourly, there's the piece worker, there's the commission worker, there's the salaried worker. Then we handle the first name and the last name at one time. And we save our changes, load, reset. All right, there's the reset. Now, let's see with the update if we can do something similar. So in here, we're going to start by coming in here and doing this. Just like we had before. All right, we have this. Switching on this now. Find by ID, great. All right, I'm not going to do this now. Wait a minute. All right, hold on. on just 1 second. All right, I'm going to attempt to do the same kind of thing in here that we did up here. All right, up here in our add routine. Okay, and that is I've added here. So we're in update. Okay, I'm going to grab these and I'm going to remove them. I'm going to grab these and remove them. I'm going to grab these and remove them. And I'm going to grab this or these and remove them. And again, what we're going to attempt to do then is to come in here and just like before, now don't worry if I get errors, I'm going to change this to employee. And this to employee. And I'm going to say the same message that we had up here. Handle first name and last name at one time. Now, just made me think of something else, and that is this. F. So let's do a message box dot show. All right. So I should. Now for this, I'm going to keep this one because I'm using a dialog. But let's check the next one. Okay, what do we have here? Well, don't we want to do a show message here? And the answer, I think, is yes. All right. So I'm trying to go through this now and clean up any, whatever you want to call it, garbage. I think it's redundant code. How's that? Oops. Because why shouldn't I? You know, I've written this generic message handling thing in here. So let's start using it. And let's use it whenever, wherever possible. Again, dialogues, I don't want to. I could write another one for dialogues. I'm going to just leave that. So again, it does not look right now like I've done that much. All right. But I've taken, I've removed a lot of the duplicated code. At least I think I have. All right. Now, we're handling all the common stuff at once. We made it a helper function. So we've removed some duplicated code. 4 times we said first name equals txt first name dot text. Last name equals txt last name dot text, etc. All right. Now we're really only doing it once. All right. Let's run it and see if it works. All right. And I also have to see, I didn't look at that yet about whether or not it's writing this stuff to the database or not now. Everything, including first and last name. All right, here's hourly. There's what we had. If we do this, it is giving us the right stuff. I can come in, I got a raise, so I should be able to update it, and I can't. Oh boy. Okay, I mean, it's senseless to go on. I'm going to save this so I can go and try to look at that error. All right, which is what I always do. And all right, I'm going to go and try to fix this. I'd like to do just one more lecture tonight and get this finished. All right, let's see if I can do that. I'll be back, hopefully, shortly.